Hey guys, it's Elle. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a very quick and easy hairstyle that will surely elevate your look. You're only going to need a couple of things. You don't even have to start on fresh hair, and it's only going to take you a couple of minutes. Now, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure you do so by clicking the subscribe button down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you really enjoy it, and of course, leave me a comment if you're going to be trying this hairstyle out as well. Alright guys, let's jump right into the video and talk about everything you're going to need. So we're only going to need a couple of tools for this style. I'm going to start off with a pick. You may or may not need this depending upon what stage your hair is at. I just took out a flat twist style and put it in these large twists to prepare for this. So I'm going to need to pick out some parts, and I'm also going to be using a brush to make sure that everything is smooth and laying down as well as possible. You're also going to need some hair ties of various sizes, bobby pins to make sure that everything is secure. And as far as my products, I'm just going to be using water, which I've got here in my spray bottle, and some sort of gel. I'm going in with the Extreme Wet Line or Wet Line Extreme today, but really any gel of your choice will be just fine. And in order to really elevate this style, I'm going to be using Marley hair. Now, you can use any type of braiding hair or twisting hair that you like. I'm trying to get it to be as similar to my texture as possible. So if you're on blow-dried hair, or you're going to be doing this style on blow-dried hair, you might want to use some just regular straight braiding hair. Or if your hair is a little bit more naturally curly, maybe passion twist hair would be a better option. So for me, Marley twist is a good option, and another good option for my texture in the 4 family of hair would be Cuban twist hair. That's everything we're going to need for this style, and we're going to jump right in and start off by untwisting my hair and getting all these parts that I have kind of pulled out of place. Alright guys, I've got all my hair untwisted, and now I'm going to move on to the next stage. So if you're really interested in getting your hair as smooth as possible and it's in a twist out stage, you're probably going to want to pick it out. But I'm actually going to skip that step for right now and just work with the texture that my hair is currently and make it mimic the Marley hair that I'm going to be adding a little bit later. And this defined part here, I'm actually going to work into using that as well for most things. So I'll use the pick a little bit later as we get to the front. And to get my hair up as smooth as possible with still allowing some texture to be there, I'm going to section my hair off into 4 sections. I'm going to actually ponytail those 4 sections separately and combine them all until we get one ponytail. So these parts don't have to be perfect, so I'm going to use what's already in here and just kind of freestyle and put some other ones in there as well. So this is going to be my first section, which kind of handles keeping one of the sides out of the way, and I'm just going to clip that out of the way. And then this section of my hair is already divided from a previous style. So we're just going to clip this away momentarily while we work on the back. And in this back part, I'm going to work on making this 2 sections. So leaving one piece at the bottom and one that's more central. Clipping those away as well. And as we get to the top, we can separate this one as well. And we're also going to go ahead and do this one that's kind of right here in the center of my head. I'm going to clip this part away, and we're going to use a ponytail holder for the last section just for now. For our very first section, I'm going to go in with some water, and this is kind of the tippy top of my head, which is where we want the ponytail to lie. Just going to spritz it with a little water and then use my hands to kind of mold it and shape it for our first ponytail. Secure, but I'm not going for like extremely tight to where I have a headache. So that is good enough for the first section. Now we're gonna move on to this back section, and we're gonna add this going up. Of course, I'm going to need some water. Smoothing the water in with my hands. And we're going to connect this to the ponytail. We're going to continue on. I'm going to now incorporate this back section, bringing that up, and then we're going to move on to each of our sides. And I'll come back when we get to the sides, because that's where we're going to really want to make sure things are laying down nicely and as smooth as possible. I'm going to spray this section with some water. And also, since this is the perimeter, I'm going to be adding some of my gel to make sure that everything is nice and smooth. And we're also going to follow up with a brush this time instead of just our hands. And lastly, as before, I'm going to use a band to secure to the central ponytail that we've been creating. And I'm going to continue the process of spraying my hair with water, adding gel, and using my brush to smooth around as I add to the central ponytail part for the entire perimeter. Now moving on to this final section here on the front. And for now, I'm just going to twist this into two. It is a little wet, so I don't want it to revert all the way until I'm ready to do the next step. And then we're going to go in with our brush and our gel to get everything nice and smooth. So with natural hair, there's a couple of things that you're gonna have to do to make sure that you get your ponytail as smooth as possible. And we are using this product which has gel in it, but in addition to that, we're gonna use a scarf to lay everything down once I've got it all brushed in and ready to go. I'll let the scarf sit for 10 or so minutes while I run and do some other stuff. Let that dry, and once that is dry, it'll be set right where you want it. It'll be ready to go. I'm gonna let this dry, and once it's dry and everything is nice and smooth, I will come back and we'll move on to our last and final step, which is adding on this hair. Okay, I am back. It's probably been about an hour. I did a couple of different things, but here we are. It is pretty much dry, which means we're good to go. Everything is smooth. So now we are going to go in with the Marley hair, which is what I have selected to match the texture of my real hair as close as possible. There is exactly 20 strands here, and a strand would be the equivalent of just one of these little crinkled clumps. I have it all together, but I don't want the ends to be completely straight. So I've pulled some so that they all aren't hitting at the exact same length, just to create a little bit of taperedness when we get down to actually braiding the hair. So it has a little bit more of an organic feel to the end of it. We are going for a more elevated, dramatic feel, but with that being said, it can still look as realistic as possible. So now when it comes to attaching this to my real hair, I don't want to just fold it in half and add it, because that's just going to make it look super unrealistic, because it's not only going to be bulky at the very, very base, because you have to think about it, I'm adding my real hair at the base too, but it's going to continue to be bulky till the end. So I'm going to fold it with only about this much towards my real hair so that it'll taper and get a little skinnier. as we get to the bottom. And I'm going to use a bigger hair tie to attach it to my hair. And I'm just going to go ahead and take the small hair tie off of my hair here. Got this little loose twist that it's not perfect, but that's fine. I'm gonna leave it here while I attach this. So what you're gonna wanna do is put the longer part forward, and I'm taking the shorter part, which is here. And now I'm gonna attach the short part around my real hair with this hair tie. Making sure to go around both my hair and the Marley hair each time. This is the final time I'll be able to get the hair tie around. You don't want it too tight. You're not trying to create any breakage or headaches. So there we go. Here is my hair here, and then the shorter piece of the Marley hair. So we're going to connect all of this together. I'm going to flip all of this back, and now I am going to braid this. But before I get started, I do want to take some of the hair that came from the shorter side. So I'm going to take about 3 strands, and exactly 3 strands, because I want to do a 3-strand braid. So now I'm gonna take this braid and wrap it around the base of the ponytail and trying to stack it kind of right on top of the other, if at all possible. And at the very end, sticking it under the base. And I'm gonna go in with a bobby pin to secure it. Now you're gonna wanna make sure that you're tucking your real hair. So I'm gonna keep it under the base there. I'm gonna divide the hair, my hair and the real hair, including it in each segment. And continue to braid all the way down to the end. And if some pieces get shorter, I'm going to borrow some longer pieces for some other section and continue to braid. And once we get as far down as we can with the hair we have, I'm going to take just a small rubber band and add it to the ends. To secure it. And then I'll use just a little bit of a scissor to taper this a little bit better. And you know what? I'm just gonna go to across. Let's not try to be fancy today. There we go. Just cut it bluntly. So we've got our braid connected here. Everything looks very organic, nice and neat. Nothing crazy where it looks super duper ridiculously thick, but a good little style. So here is the final look. A very long yet organic looking ponytail. I think it looks great for the concept that we're trying to pull off for this New Year's Eve photo shoot opportunity. You could actually wear this outside of just a photo shoot as well, but I was going for something that was super elevated and a little bit over the top for me personally, but you could definitely get away with wearing this day to day if that's your style and that's your personality. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you're gonna try it, like I said a little earlier, let me know in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and go ahead and leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Now, if you want to see how I put together my entire look as well as my backdrop for my New Year's Eve photo shoot, make sure that you check the video. I've got it linked up in the info cards and in the description down below for you to enjoy. Thanks so much. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Happy New Year, and I'll see you in my next one.